The guy pulling up in the Lexus might have $52 in his checking account. That designer bag your coworker just bought costs more than her entire emergency fund. The man at the bar bragging about his investment portfolio has more credit card debt than actual investments. And the influencer showing off a luxury lifestyle is 2 months behind on rent. A recent study found that nearly half of Americans with credit cards carry a balance month to month. Yet, somehow, luxury car sales keep climbing. Designer brand revenue keeps growing. The gap between what people actually have and what they are willing to spend has never been wider. Welcome to the era of fake rich. If this kind of financial reality check is useful to you, follow the channel right now. John Austin brings you this type of content every week, straight and no filter. Americans now owe over $1.28 trillion in credit card debt. The average household carries more than $100,000 in total debt. Yet, somehow, parking lots are full of luxury vehicles. Shopping malls are packed with designer bags, and social media overflows with people showing off wealth they do not actually have. Something does not add up. Here is what is really happening. A massive number of people have figured out how to look wealthy while being financially broke. They have mastered the appearance of success while building nothing underneath. They project an image that falls apart the moment you look closer. Real wealth whispers. Fake wealth screams. Once you know the signs, you will see fake rich everywhere. More importantly, you will avoid becoming fake rich yourself, because these patterns do not just look foolish, they actively destroy your ability to build actual wealth. Let's break down the 10 signs someone is pretending to be rich. The first sign is the entry-level luxury trap. Someone buys the cheapest version of the most expensive brand. The base model Lexus, the logo belt from Gucci, the starter bag from Louis Vuitton. They want the badge without the budget. Walk through any parking lot and you will spot this immediately. A stripped-down Mercedes with manual seats and no navigation. An Audi with the smallest engine option and 0 upgrades. These cars exist because manufacturers know exactly what is happening. People want the emblem on the hood more than they want the actual driving experience. Here is what is interesting. A fully loaded Toyota Camry costs roughly the same as a base model luxury sedan. The Toyota has better features, a more comfortable interior, superior reliability, and lower maintenance costs. But the person chasing status does not want a Toyota. They want other people to see the 3-pointed star or the 4 rings. And it does not stop at the purchase price. That entry-level luxury car comes with luxury maintenance costs, premium fuel instead of regular higher insurance premiums, and more expensive parts when something breaks. The base model Mercedes costs significantly more to own than the fully loaded Honda. Not just up front, but every single month for years. The math gets brutal. Someone pretending to be rich might spend 20 to 30% of their income on looking wealthy. Someone actually wealthy spends 2 to 5% on these same categories. That difference compounds over decades into hundreds of thousands of dollars that never get invested. Truly wealthy people often buy their flashy items after they have built substantial wealth. The fake rich buy the status symbol first and hope wealth follows. It rarely does. The second sign is constant money talk. This is the person who cannot stop steering conversations toward income, investments, spending, or deals they are working on. Every topic somehow circles back to finances, and always in a way that makes them look successful. You could be discussing pizza toppings and this person finds an angle. "Oh yeah, I used to eat that before I started making real money." You mention a vacation, and suddenly they are explaining their travel reward strategy that only works because of how much they spend. You share news about a friend's success, and they pivot to their own achievements within 2 sentences. People genuinely secure about their financial situation do not need to constantly remind everyone how well they are doing. The reminder is for themselves, not you. It is external validation filling an internal void. Watch for a specific pattern, talking about money they are about to make rather than money they have actually made. I have got a huge deal closing next month. Once this investment pays off, everything changes. I am working on something that is going to be massive. Always future tense because the present does not match the image. The money is not real until it hits your bank account. Deals fall through, investments go sideways, opportunities evaporate. But the fake rich talk about projected income as if it is already deposited, because the reality is not impressive enough. Another tell is confusing revenue with profit. Someone brags about their business doing $500,000 when their actual take-home was $50,000. Still decent money, but not the flex they are presenting. The exaggeration reveals the insecurity. The truly wealthy tend to be private about finances, not because they are secretive, but because they do not need to prove anything to anyone. If you are finding this valuable, drop a comment below and tell John what financial mistake you caught yourself making this year. Your honesty might help someone else in this community. The third sign might be the most alarming: the designer item that costs more than what is in the bank account. Someone carrying a $4,000 bag with $1,500 in savings. A luxury watch on the wrist of someone with a maxed-out credit card. This happens constantly. The purchase is not a celebration of success. It is a costume for success that has not arrived. There is an old rule. If you cannot afford to buy it twice, you cannot actually afford it. If a single purchase represents 2 or 3 months of income, that is not wealth. That is living dangerously above your means while creating the illusion of prosperity. Think about what that bag actually represents. Not accomplishment, not smart financial decisions, just a willingness to sacrifice future security for present appearance. The bag might impress strangers for 3 seconds. The empty savings account creates stress for years. John has seen people finance designer purchases, paying interest on a handbag, making monthly payments on a watch. The item depreciates while the debt accumulates. By the time it is paid off, they have spent 30% more than the sticker price on something worth half what they originally paid. People with actual wealth rarely make purchases that put their financial foundation at risk. Their luxury items represent a tiny fraction of their net worth, not a significant chunk of their monthly budget. The fourth sign is the constant one-upper. Whatever you have done, they have done something better. Whatever you bought, they bought something more expensive. Whatever you accomplished, their version was more impressive. You get a promotion, they got a bigger one. You went on a nice vacation. They spent 2 weeks in Portugal flying business class. You bought a new watch. They explain why theirs has a superior mechanical movement, and you can hear the difference in how the second hand ticks. Picture this at a dinner party. Someone shares that they just closed on their first home. Before anyone can congratulate them, the one-upper jumps in. That is great, but you really should have waited for a bigger place. When I bought my first property, I made sure it was at least 4 bedrooms because anything smaller does not appreciate as well. The excitement drains from the room. The person who just achieved something meaningful now feels small. Or at work, you land a new client and mention it in passing. The one-upper immediately pivots to the bigger client they landed last quarter, the commission they made, the dinner the director bought them to celebrate. Your win disappears into their need to dominate. This is not normal conversation. It is competition. Every interaction becomes a contest where they must win. The psychology here is transparent. One-upping comes from insecurity, not confidence. Someone genuinely successful can celebrate your wins without feeling threatened. They do not need to redirect attention because their self-worth does not depend on being superior in every exchange. People pretending to be rich feel threatened by any success that is not theirs. Your good news diminishes them somehow, so they reflexively minimize your achievement while amplifying their own. Real wealth allows someone to be genuinely happy for others. Fake wealth requires constant comparison and conquest. The fifth sign is social media performance. The curated feed of luxury experiences, expensive purchases, and lifestyle content designed to project wealth, whether or not that wealth exists. If someone's money is real, they do not need to document every moment for strangers on the internet. But for the fake rich, wealth only exists when validated by likes and comments. The experience is not complete until it is posted. The purchase is not satisfying until others have seen it. Here is the uncomfortable truth about social media. Showing off gets more engagement than showing discipline. A spend $1,000 at the mall with me video outperforms watch me add $1,000 to my emergency fund. The first feels aspirational. The second feels boring. This creates a twisted incentive. People learn that projecting wealth generates attention regardless of whether the wealth is real. So they perform prosperity while building nothing. Nobody posts themselves doing dishes. Nobody films their budget spreadsheet sessions. Nobody shares the 16 hours they spend at home on a Saturday because they are saving money. Social media shows highlights, not reality. But the fake rich need you to believe the highlights are their everyday existence. Watch for fake engagement, too. Some profiles have millions of followers but comment sections full of bot accounts saying the same generic phrases. They are buying the appearance of influence to support the appearance of wealth. Layers of fabrication stacked on each other. Meanwhile, actual wealthy people often maintain minimal social media presence. They do not need the validation, and they certainly do not need strangers knowing their financial business. The sixth sign is leasing luxury cars. This deserves its own category because it has become so common that people do not recognize it as a red flag. When you lease a vehicle, you are paying for the steepest depreciation years, the most expensive period of a car's life, and then giving the car back. The dealer estimates what the vehicle will be worth at lease end, and you pay the difference between purchase price and that residual value, plus interest, taxes, and fees. A $55,000 car worth $33,000 after 3 years means you are essentially financing $22,000 of depreciation plus interest. Then you return it and start over with a new lease, paying those fees and that depreciation all over again on a fresh vehicle. This cycle never ends. Lease, return, lease, return. Perpetual payments with zero equity, ever. Someone who leases continuously for 20 years has made hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments and owns absolutely nothing at the end. Leasing is one of the most expensive ways to have a car over a lifetime. But it lets people afford the monthly payment on vehicles they could not actually purchase. That is the entire appeal. The person driving the leased luxury sedan looks successful. The payment fits their monthly budget. What does not show is that they are building zero equity, paying premium insurance rates, and locking themselves into endless payments with nothing to show at the end. If you genuinely want a luxury vehicle for reasons beyond status, buying used makes far more financial sense. But buying used does not provide the new car smell and the spotless badge that fake rich requires. The seventh sign is counterfeit goods. If someone is carrying fake designer items, they are literally advertising that they are pretending to be something they are not. People who actually know luxury goods can spot fakes across the room. The stitching is wrong. The leather quality differs. The logo placement is slightly off. The hardware feels cheap. Everything about it signals imitation to anyone paying attention. Here is the irony. Counterfeit goods are not even that cheap. A decent knockoff bag might cost $250 or $300. For that same money, you could buy a genuinely well-made bag from a brand that is not pretending to be something else. Real leather, quality construction, original design, just without the famous logo. But that is not what the fake rich want. They do not actually care about quality or craftsmanship. They care about the perception that comes with the logo. So they will pay $250 for a poorly made fake rather than $250 for a well-made original, because the fake carries a name people recognize. Some people claim they just like the design and are not trying to fool anyone. But if that were true, why choose a knockoff of a specific brand? Why not buy something original and well-made from a company you can actually afford? The brand choice reveals the motivation. It is about the logo, not the design. Counterfeits deliver neither status nor quality. The people you are trying to impress can tell it is fake and the item itself is poorly constructed. You have paid money to carry around evidence of your own pretense. The eighth sign is constantly promoting get-rich-quick opportunities, not the obvious scams. Those are easy to spot. The slightly faster-than-normal schemes that sound almost plausible. Forex trading, dropshipping, crypto day trading, option strategies, multi-level marketing, infinite banking, some revolutionary system that is going to change everything if you just get in now. A tiny fraction of people succeed at these activities. The vast majority lose money. But the fake rich love talking about these opportunities because they operate in future tense. They are not discussing what they have built. They are discussing what they are about to build. The potential justifies the current lack of actual results. Here is how it usually plays out. Someone discovers a new opportunity and goes all in. They talk about it constantly. Try to recruit friends. Project massive confidence. 6 months later, they have lost money, but they never mention that part. Instead, they have already moved on to the next opportunity. Equally confident, equally vocal. The pattern repeats every year or two. A trail of failed ventures they never acknowledge, always chasing the next thing that is definitely going to work this time. Admitting failure would shatter the identity they have constructed. So they just keep moving forward, hoping the next opportunity finally delivers the results they have been promising everyone, including themselves. Real wealth is built slowly and boringly over years or decades. It rarely comes from turning $5,000 into $1 million in 12 months. But slow and boring does not match the fake rich identity. They need something dramatic happening, even if that something only exists in their projections. When someone cannot stop talking about their next big opportunity, their current opportunity probably is not delivering what they claim. Hit that follow button right now if you want more content from John Austin on how money really works. This is the kind of analysis you will not find in most finance channels. The ninth sign is condescending money advice. Different from one-upping, this person actively criticizes your financial decisions and tells you what you should be doing instead. You mention you are happy with your apartment. They say you should have upgraded by now given your income. You are driving a reliable used car. They question why you have not financed something newer. You are saving aggressively. They tell you that money should be invested in whatever they are invested in. The advice is always unsolicited, and it always points toward whatever choices they have made, regardless of whether those choices make sense for your situation. Here is what is actually happening. They need to justify their own decisions. If you are succeeding with a different approach, it threatens their narrative, so they criticize your path to validate theirs. Your financial situation differs from everyone else's. Your goals differ. Your risk tolerance differs. Your timeline differs. Someone who genuinely understands money knows that different strategies work for different people. The fake rich need everyone to validate their choices because deep down, they are not confident those choices were right. Someone genuinely wealthy can acknowledge that different strategies work for different people. They do not need you to make the same choices to feel good about their own. The fake rich need everyone around them to confirm they are doing things correctly because deep down they are not sure. The 10th and final sign is simply overdoing it. Too many logos, too much jewelry, too strong a cologne, a walking advertisement for luxury brands rather than a person who happens to own some nice things. They have seen wealthy people in movies and decided to cosplay that aesthetic. Everything screams money. Nothing whispers it. Here is something worth noting. Look at photos of actual billionaires on ordinary days. Not at galas or press events, but just living their lives. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt constantly. Warren Buffett drives a modest car and lives in the same house he bought decades ago. Many of the wealthiest people you would pass on the street without a second glance. They have nothing to prove. Their identity is not tied to what strangers think of their appearance. They could buy anything, so they do not feel the need to buy everything. The fake rich operate from the opposite psychology. They feel they have everything to prove. So every item becomes a statement. Every accessory becomes evidence. The louder the display, the more desperate the attempt. The wealthiest people in most rooms dress normally. Maybe one or two quality items, but nothing designed to broadcast a status. They do not need to prove anything to strangers. Their confidence does not require external validation through appearance. When every single item someone wears is designed to signal wealth, that signal becomes noise. It reads as desperate rather than successful. The effort shows. Actual wealth tends to be understated because it does not need to try. Real wealth is not about what you show. It is about what you have built. The freedom to make choices without financial pressure. The security of knowing you can handle emergencies. The compound growth happening quietly in accounts nobody else sees. Fake wealth is a performance that gets more expensive over time. The luxury car needs maintaining. The designer wardrobe needs updating. The lifestyle needs sustaining. Every month, more money flows toward keeping up an image while nothing flows toward building substance. The person pretending to be rich often ends up poorer than they started. The effort of appearing wealthy prevents the accumulation of actual wealth. They are running on a treadmill that speeds up the longer they stay on it, working harder and harder just to maintain an illusion that delivers nothing real. Here is what separates real from fake at the deepest level. The fake rich optimize for how things look to others. Every financial decision passes through a filter of external perception. Will this impress people? Will this signal status? Will this make me appear successful? The actually wealthy optimize for how things work for themselves. Does this purchase make sense given my goals? Does this decision move me toward financial freedom? Does this choice align with what I actually value, not what I want others to think I value? One approach builds wealth, the other bleeds it. The next time you see someone projecting prosperity, look closer. The base model luxury car, the constant money talk, the social media performance, the one-upping and condescension, the designer items that might cost more than their entire savings account. Fake rich is everywhere once you know what to look for. More importantly, check yourself. Are you making financial decisions based on what genuinely serves your future? Or are you spending to maintain an image that is slowly breaking you down financially? Real wealth whispers. It does not need anyone to notice. It does not require validation. It exists whether or not anyone else sees it. The goal is not to look rich. The goal is to actually be rich. One path is expensive, exhausting, and leads nowhere. The other builds quietly until one day you realize you have options most people only pretend to have. Choose carefully. And if this video helped you see something you had not noticed before, leave a comment telling John which of these 10 signs you have witnessed in real life. Your answer might be exactly what someone else in this community needs to read today.